All right, dear, I'm Preeti Chaudhary. You're watching To The Point. So what's happened is Assam has done it. It has a population policy in play. UP has now drafted a very similar law which it wants to enact, which is a population policy, which primarily says that the state schemes will not benefit those who have more than 2 children, which will even include the ration subsidy. The opposition is calling this communal. Why so? Take a look.
6 months before elections, and Uttar Pradesh is mulling schemes to control the rising population in the state. The State Law Commission is preparing a draft which may include debarring couples with more than 2 children from certain welfare schemes, including the ration subsidy. This decision has exploded politically, with the Yogi government being charged of communal polarization.
हम उत्तर प्रदेश में ऐसा कोई मैसेज नहीं देना चाहते कि हम किसी भी धर्म के विपरीत हैं। जो भी सरकारी संसाधन है, जो भी सरकारी सुविधा है, वो उन लोगों को प्राप्त हो जो जनसंख्या नियंत्रित करने में सहयोगी हैं।
While there are several provisions already in place in UP to discourage people from having more than 2 children, the idea of bringing in changes in the family planning law right before elections is now being worked upon. However, the opposition has slammed the move.
चूंकि सरकार को पता है कि उसने 4.5 साल में कोई काम नहीं किया, तो जनता का ध्यान भटकाने के लिए वो जानबूझ के इधर उधर के मुद्दे लेके आना चाहती है, करना कुछ नहीं है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी मुख्य मुद्दों पर विफल हो चुकी है बीजेपी सरकार, इसलिए वो लोगों को गुमराह करने का काम कर रही है। सच्चाई ये है कि जनसंख्या का विषय केंद्र सरकार का विषय है, एक राष्ट्र समस्या है।
The move comes a day after Assam announced its proposed 2-child policy for availing government schemes and benefits. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma announced that his government was gradually implementing a 2-child policy for availing benefits under specific schemes funded by the state. The population norms will not be applicable to tea garden workers, SC/ST communities, but will be imposed on all others, availing benefits from the government in future because the population policy has already started in Assam.
আৰু এটা আপোনালোকে এটা কথা জানিব যে অসম চৰকাৰে অনাগত ভৱিষ্যতত এইটো কথা নকলে মই পিছত কোৱা বুলি ক'ব, লোন ৰেহাই কক কিবাই কক, আমি কিন্তু বৰ্তমান চৰকাৰৰ আঁচনিবিলাকত এবাৰ পপুলেশ্যন নৰ্মছটো আহি যাব।
In September 2017, the Assam Assembly had passed the Population and Women Empowerment Policy. The Assam Cabinet had also taken a decision that no government job will be given to those who have more than 2 children after January 1st, 2021. This had created a deeply polarizing debate. The decision is also controversial as it is in conflict with the current family dynamics of most sitting BJP MPs in the current Lok Sabha. 149 Lok Sabha MPs have 3 or more children. Of these, BJP accounts for 96. Nearly 1/3 of BJP's Lok Sabha MPs do not adhere to the 2-child norm. 21 BJP MPs have 4 children, while 12 have 5 kids. However, with Assam embracing the policy and UP in the draft stages now, the stage is now set for a communally charged, polarizing debate. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so let's throw open the debate. I have Anila Singh, Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, Juhi Singh from the Samajwadi Party, and I have Waris Pathan from AIMIM. I'd like to begin with Ms. Anila Singh from the BJP. Ms. Singh, I have 2 questions. Number one, will this draft be retrospective? Because that's a big question that is being asked, if it takes into effect in terms of a law. And secondly, what was the need where this law needs to be in place? And would you not reckon a little cruel to also include the ration subsidy in this?
Yeah, I think it is a very, very wisely and very timely taken step, because we very well know, even if we talk about our state Uttar Pradesh, the type of population it is sustaining, it is, I can say, amazing. The way everything is going on, but the time has come when we have to take some sort of strict action, because we have to take care of the future generation, because we know it very well that how the resources are being depleted, and the whole of the state is, rather I'll say, it is going under-resourced. So if we do not have to talk for today's date, we have to talk about the future as well. So
will this law be retrospective? It's a draft right now, but will it have retrospective effect?
See, that, I mean, whatever you take it, it becomes very, very debatable. Very, very debatable. But the thing is, I know very well that Yogi Adityanath ji, as a chief minister and as a member of parliament... But madam,
will it have retrospective effect? Will it mean people who already have 2 children will not be part of this draft, or more than 2 children? Or will it be people who will have kids now?
This is what I was about to answer you, Preeti. I'm telling you that Yogi Adityanath ji, not only as a chief minister, but when he was member of parliament, 2015, at that time also he conducted a survey regarding this. So he knows it very well, whether how to take ahead this policy, and from which date, and what all has to be included in it.
Okay.
So whether it has to be
all right. Okay. So there is still there's no clarity on that, because for Assam it is retrospective. Yeah. If you have 2 children right now, you cannot get a government job for the state of Assam. Having said that, I want to bring it
about Yogi Adityanath ji, Preeti. I can't say anything
about
Assam.
I'm not talking about. Okay, I'm just talking about, you know, because you're following Assam, which is Uttar Pradesh. I want to bring in Waris Pathan. Mr. Pathan, why do you think this is targeting the Muslim population in the state of Uttar Pradesh or in Assam?
Well, let me tell you, the BJP has started its poll preparation for the forthcoming UP elections, which is very well evident from the fact that now they will try to communalize the election, they will try to polarize the election. As we all know that since last 4.5 years, Yogi was the CM of UP. And UP, every day what we see is violence, rape, mob lynching. So many people died due to lack of oxygen. There was no vaccination policies with the government. Now there was the Gotala which came into picture from the Ram temple which they did. So to divert the mind of the people from all these things, now he has started with this, that they want to implement a population control policy. Now, just few days back, Himanta Biswa Sarma stated that there should be population control. Now, may I bring it to your notice, madam, that the central government has filed an affidavit before the Honorable Supreme Court, wherein in clear terms they have stated that the family welfare program says that there should be no coercion or force on the couples for how many children they should have. It is up to them. Now the central government is filing an affidavit there in the Supreme Court, and that is a data which was also highlighted in the affidavit, which says that from the year 2001 till 2011, the population in the country was less. We were less in the population. So where did they bring this? That is why I say, to divert the mind of the people from the basic things, from the you can call it vaccination laws, from the petrol diesel hike which the government has been doing. So now they have left with nothing but to see that the poll is polarized, the elections are polarized, it is made communal, and which what we watched earlier was Ghaziabad also was there. Let an investigation take place, whatever will happen we all will face, but then these are the things which they are bringing before the nation, and we all know. We all very well know the policies of the BJPs as they have lost the people's mandate, if they lost the people faith, people don't trust them. Every now and then in UP being a big state, larger state for 4.5 years, where is the employment? Where are jobs? Anila Singh is sitting here before your channel. I will ask her. You said the population of UP is so much. It's the largest state. May I ask her? How many poor innocent Muslims are languishing in the UP jail for so many years, and they are now acquitted? Who will compensate them? So these are the questions which the people are asking at large, for the BJP have no answers for that.
So the fact is that the BJP still enjoys the mandate. We'll only know what happens in 2022 where Uttar Pradesh is concerned. That's just a fact there. But I want to bring in Juhi Singh. Juhi Singh, why do you think this is diversionary tactics? You know, it's a country, a state like Uttar Pradesh, highly populated. For everybody to actually get the true dividends or the true fruits of governance, you need to control the population. Maybe it's a good thing.
Preeti, because the UP government has to take into account the demographic dynamics which have played out. The fertility rates have plateaued. In Uttar Pradesh, of course, the fertility rates are higher than the national fertility rates, but also the sex ratio. It's very unequal to the women. And your question was not answered by Anila Singh, but it's unconstitutional, I think, to have retrospective laws. Plus, any draft which will come out, the Samajwadi Party will look at what punitive actions you are putting in, whether you are targeting any section. It's not Hindus or Muslims or anyone. If a law is retrospective, it's penalizing everyone. The second thing is that we have already, the population explosion has taken place. We've added huge number of people in our workforce who are young, who are unemployed. The UP government is not doing anything on the economic infrastructure to provide them employment. Women, because of lower fertility rates, are adding to that workforce. They are ready to work. But the present crisis, the health crisis which we have seen, we are not even equipped to handle it. So women are more difficult issues of coming back to the workforce. So what is the Rozgar Ayog, the Employment Commission, I think something which Yogi made, what is it doing? They also said they'd be skill mapping the various migrant laborers who are not one job has come in. The only thing you are providing is unsecured Manrega, which you criticized yourself. So I would say that a population policy has to be targeted at the present, and we will have a look at it. And any objections we have, we will of course raise, but we will not allow anybody to be, any individual to be sidelined or targeted by the BJP in that.
All right, okay. Anila Singh, I'll tell you why it's being made, there's a communally polarizing charge that this draft faces. For example, Muradabad division in your state has the maximum number of ration cards in the entire state. In that division, you have maximum Muslims who've applied for those ration cards who benefit from the ration subsidy. Now, if you do look at the reproductive behavior which has been charted by various studies in Uttar Pradesh, it is the Muslim population who have more than 2 children. If this is retrospective, then something as small as the ration subsidy, which is as big for the poor in Uttar Pradesh, would be taken away from them. Would you not reckon this cruel? Would you not reckon that's why you're facing the communally polarizing charge?
Preeti, first of all, we should wait for the salient features to come out. We cannot talk on hypothetical grounds. And secondly, I'm not surprised. I'll not say I'm surprised, but the way Mr. Pathan is saying that this step is going to be taken because we want to polarize. So I have to tell him, gentlemen, before this also, Yogi Adityanath ji took 2 very strong steps. We know it very well. Whether it was about the law for the damaged properties, private public properties, like the damage has to be taken from those who damage the properties, or conversion law. So here is the chief minister. He does what he says, and if the people think that it is for the polarization, then I'll say that it is their dirty thought. And we have to think about the country. We do not have to think about the religion. And I have to ask Mr. Pathan, you're sitting here and advocating about your religion. I have to ask you, can you give me data here? Because I have got data about the literacy rate in your religion. And especially if I talk about the women, representation in government jobs, otherwise also. So you are not focusing to give a qualitative life to your people from your religion.
Madam, that's actually a state's responsibility. That's not the opposition's responsibility, that is the state's responsibility. But I want to bring it. It is the state's responsibility to give equal representation to women and minorities. Okay, I'll come back to you, madam. I'll come back to you. Okay, can I just go back to Mr. Pathan? Mr. Pathan, if this draft comes into place, it's not just Muslims. There are Hindus also who have more than 2 children. And if you look at it, and we'll pull out those, the data and the figures there, where this current Lok Sabha, 96 MPs are of the BJP itself, some of them coming in from Uttar Pradesh, who represent the state of Uttar Pradesh, who have more than 2 children. So, it's good for the goose, good for the gander. What's the problem?
That's why I say let us see the salient future of the draft. What have they implemented in it? What they want to bring before the public? We will debate upon that. But they are talking about the resources because the population has exploded, and they feel that the resources are not there because of the marginalized community, which was said by Himanta Biswa Sarma. Let me bring a data before Anila Singh that the resources are not there, not because of us, but because of 22% of the upper caste people are holding 44% wealth of the country, and that is why the poor people don't have that thing. So is it because of us, the marginalized community, that the resources are not being equally divided? No, it was your bad policies, that is why the resources are not yet equally divided. You will not say that. Say there are several Maharaj who came before the TV channels, before the media, and said 10 bacche paida karo. So who will take care of those statements? Why were you silent at that time when they said 10 bacche paida karo, though they don't marry but they want children? And so I'll tell you, the Modi government has totally failed. That is why they have nothing left now with them. So they want to bring some policies to polarize. This is the thing, but against the poor and the marginalized community of our country.
I want to just quickly get in a word from Juhi Singh and come.
They want to bring this.
Okay. Yes. Juhi Singh, you wanted to come in, you wanted to make a point, come in.
Preeti, also the life expectancy has increased. So whatever law, irrespective which comes in, please keep it in mind that you need specialized health facilities which are not present in UP. You've seen in Corona, no ambulances, no oxygen, not even a decent burial place. So please keep that in mind before, really engage with the people. But how can you just come here? How can any individual from Bharatiya Janata Party come here and say that we can bring a law? Even money laundering law is not retrospective, so this is something new which we are developing, I think.
All right, Anila Singh, if this law is retrospective, once again I'll touch in on the fact, if you break it down in terms of figures, Muradabad I gave you the example of, where maximum number of people in the entire state are dependent on the ration subsidy. Most of them are Muslims. So these are all facts with you. So if it is retrospective, you're going to take something as small as ration subsidy from those who have children over 2.
See, I'm not going to answer this question of yours. As I mentioned earlier, Preeti, that we have to wait and see that what will be the salient features. So, I mean, just talking hypothetically won't be correct. But I am not going to say I'm going to request Mr. Pathan. I'm just going to tell him, Mr. Pathan, start worrying about the country and don't make it a Hindu-Muslim thing, because we have got other religious communities also in this country. And it is not a hidden fact that people from your religious community, they have increased in population, and other religious communities, they have decreased. So do not shy away. Okay. Otherwise, if you want to talk in a polarization language, I very well know how to talk about it.
All right, 10 seconds, Mr. Varis Pathan. You wanted to come in, but 10 seconds, sir. I need to close the show.
Just now, Mr. Pathan said, "Aapki to Baba."
Well, let me answer to Anila Singh.
And I am.
Just 10 seconds, sir. 10 seconds. Anila Singh, I need to wrap up. Madam, give him 10 seconds.
I don't need a certificate of nationalism or patriotism from you. I am a proud Indian Muslim, and I know my rights. And whatever I speak, I talk on behalf of. I just see what Constitution has given me the rights. I follow the Constitution, and I take your challenge. If you can use any language, I will reply to you in that language, madam.
All right, okay, Mr. Pathan and Juhi Singh and Anila Singh. I thank you. I'm sorry, I've run very short of time. Appreciate you for joining us. We'll know soon enough whether this draft becomes a law. We'll keep a track on that. Thank you for joining us.